You'll be glad you brought Sean along. To sign up today for Hannity Headlines, go to Hannity.com.
I think Mel Gibson crashed a gate in a very big way 10 years ago.
He got attacked when he was shooting The Passion.
Yeah.
From the Jewish community saying, but look at the way you're portraying us. I mean, I go, well, okay, news bulletin, you did kill Jesus. It's like, come on, guys.
Well, they delivered him over to the Romans, right?
Exactly. They did deliver him over. So they had a hand in it. And, of course, what did it do? Well, a $30 million movie made, $500 million. So Mel sort of had the last laugh there.
All right, 25 till the top of the hour. Toll-free, it's 800-941-SEAN if you want to be a part of the program. That is Kevin Sorbo was on that tape. Let the Lion Roar is a pro-Israel docudrama revealing anti-Semitic roots of early Christian church leaders. And what, you portray John Calvin.
John Calvin, correct,
yeah.
Yes.
What about those comments? Because you got attacked.
Well, yeah, I did get attacked. It was sort of a flippant comment, probably something stupid I shouldn't have said. But the reality is, when they had Jesus up there with the Pharisees and they had the hardened criminal, the crowd screamed for the hardened criminal to be released. So the Pharisees certainly handed Jesus over to the Jews. Over to the Romans for his execution.
But it was really the scribes and Pharisees that orchestrated the entire.
Yes. I'm not saying all of the Jewish people were. Certainly during that time, many more mourned his death while he's being crucified.
Well, you wouldn't be doing a pro-Israel documentary if, in fact, that you felt that way. But I figured I'd get out of the way to talk about it. I went to Israel, and you said you want to go there.
Yeah, we're shooting a sequel to God's Not Dead. They want to shoot there for a couple of weeks.
By the way, that movie, God's Not Dead, was amazing. The movie starts out. By the way, you're such a good actor. You convinced me you're actually a mean, miserable SOB, both to your girlfriend and to your students, because you're a professor at a college.
Yes.
And you say, all right, well, let's get rid of this whole idea about God being alive. If everybody writes God is dead, we'll literally just forget that whole part of the course. And I don't remember if you said you get an A on that part, but one kid wouldn't do it.
Stands up to me.
He stands up to you.
Yeah.
And you were pissed off.
Yeah, because he's used to getting his way, and he doesn't want to deal with it, and he's got his own anger and hatred towards God that he doesn't believe, and he challenges the kid to a series of debates.
How is it that we've gotten to the point where, a lot of us are kind of sheep? No. And I was thinking all those kids, they didn't really believe it, but the professor says it. They're going to write whatever he says to get their easy A. Well, I mean, it's an intimidating environment now in schools.
Well, Sean, I think you know the facts. I mean, there's so many kids that go into their first year of college, and there's a belief there somewhere. After 4 years, they come out, and it's flipped the other way. The percentage of kids that have lost their faith. There's total indoctrination going in our universities. I think people are well aware of that. But we need to stand up, and parents need to stand up and be aware of what's going on out there with their kids, not only in colleges. It goes down even the grade school level. I mean, there was a girl, you must have covered this. There was a girl, I think, last month in Nashville. She said, God bless you to somebody who sneezed.
Well,
they kicked her out of school.
Hear about kids that can't wear the American flag shirt out in San Francisco. It's unbelievable.
It's amazing. We have to fight back. We can't stay silent about this.
How do you navigate through the waters of what is, I guess, generally characterized as liberal territory in Hollywood, and yet you're a pretty outspoken conservative? How do you do that?
I think I just got to a point that I was just tired of it. I said, this enough is enough. Why, you scream for tolerance, you scream for freedom of speech, but nobody else can have it if they don't agree with their views. And it's ridiculous. I mean, Hollywood owes me nothing. I went out there, I didn't know a soul. I got very lucky. I mean, I had a long run with Hercules, Andromeda. I've shot about 45 movies in the last 9 years. I'm still working. I'm just not getting into the big mainstream movies. And right. I realize there's certainly a little blacklist going on.
Do you think that's it?
Oh, sure. It's there. I don't think you'd get anybody to actually admit it. Behind closed doors, they would. But, it is the way it is. And I don't, you know what? They run the business. I can't hold that against them. I would love to be in big mainstream movies, but it's funny when a little movie, like a $2 million movie like God's Not Dead, becomes the most successful movie dollar for dollar. Yeah. I mean, it's closing in, I think, $100 million worldwide. It made $65 million in America alone.
And it only cost $2 million to make that movie.
Yeah.
You were outstanding. I've seen you in a billion other movies and a million other roles, but that one really struck me as because you had to play outside of who you are.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not an actor. I've had my little 30-second cameos in Atlas Shrugged, which is, for me, it was just fun to do it.
Sure.
But I think acting's hard. I couldn't act. For example, radio is a heart medium. Mm-hmm. I can't come on the air, and I've said this many times, and fake it for 3 hours a day without the audience being smart enough to pick it up.
Yeah.
They can read you.
Sure.
They're really smart.
Of course they are.
And I don't know how do you get into some other role? How do you do that?
Well, it was certainly on the paper. I've done about 5 movies with PureFlix now, the same company that I did this movie with. They're based out of Scottsdale, #1 distributor of family and faith-based movies. Got to give them a plug because they're great. First movie I shot with them is What If. I recommend everybody to see What If. Wonderful family, faith-based movie. They sent me the script. I read it. I read the first 20 pages. If it doesn't hold my interest, I move on. I fell in love with this movie right away and jumped on it. And really, I've got atheist friends. We've had wonderful debates, and we part as friends. We differ in our views, but we still part as friends. I watch these guys on Fox. I've seen these guys. They actually have clubs. They have memberships. They have, and I laugh. I'm going, how do these guys have so much hatred towards something they don't believe in? I don't believe in broccoli. Knock yourself out.
I like to argue this. My friend David Limbaugh just wrote a new book. It's Russia's Brother. And what is the case for Jesus? I forget the actual title of it. And I blurbed the book. But he does it from a lawyer's perspective. Mm-hmm. I've made a more simplified argument. He makes it in far more detail, far more intellectual scholarship behind his argument, and he'd put it in a book. But to me, to be an atheist, you actually have to look at universes within universes, the sun, the stars, the sky, the planets. Jesus on Trial was David's book, I just remembered. Yeah. And all the majesty that is creation, down to microorganisms, up and through human beings, through the animal kingdom. And you have to believe that somehow all of this, if you believe in the Big Bang Theory, somehow all collided and created gravity and perfection.
I know.
My mind can't. That you have to believe something came from nothing to get there.
Yes.
A far bigger miracle,
it's
right?
The chicken and the egg. But, something had to start the chicken, something had to start the egg. It just wasn't there.
Are you really religious? Do you go to church every week?
When I'm home, I go to church, yes. Yeah. I mean, I'm on the road a lot, unfortunately. I mean, sometimes I find out about a church to go to, but I have a church back home that I absolutely love.
Yeah.
And he mixes politics in with religion.
How is it that Hollywood, if you look at the box office numbers, they're way down, but movies like yours or Heaven Can Wait or Heaven is Real or Son of God or The Passion, which you were talking about there, how and even Time and Newsweek every year would put Jesus on the cover once a year. That was their biggest selling edition every year. Why do you think that Hollywood always goes for the lower common denominator, even though numbers are falling off? Why don't they embrace this?
I'm sure there's agenda to push there too, but I think sometimes they just don't get it. I don't think they have people in those positions that know how to attract that audience. They can see it. They can see what my movie did, and they're going, wow, maybe we should do something like that. You can't hire an atheist director like they did to do Noah. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. And I went to the beginning of that, and the Paramount, one of the producers came on stage, and he actually apologized to this audience of people saying, look, this is one person's point of view. This is one side of their story, what they think happened at that time. Well,
it was so much artistic license
there.
Was,
it was Transformers meets Waterworld.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what that was.
That's a good way to put it.
So I got to give that one to my wife. She came up with
that. That's a really good line. So what do you think? You obviously care about politics.
Sure.
You see what we did last night in Syria. You see what's happening with the economy. You meet a lot of people. Yeah. You're looked to as a big Hollywood actor. I mean, what do you think of events that are unfolding? Because I don't like what I see.
It's sad. I mean, it's sad all around the world. Let's face it. We've got to get to a point where we need to wake up in this country because there's a lot of apathy going on here. I don't understand the embracement of the Muslim religion. I'm not talking about all Muslims, okay? So don't attack me, okay? It's obviously, I've heard numbers of 300 to 400 million of these radical
Islamists.
Yeah, that are out there. And what do they want to do? They want to kill us. They want to and they even kill each other. They think their Allah is better than the other Allah. I me's amazing that what goes on between all these different groups. We need to wake up and realize this is for real. Kids are getting beheaded over there. Little kids. They're using kids' heads as soccer balls. This is what they're teaching their kids.
Women are raped.
Yeah.
Women are taken in the case of Boko Haram. Young girls are taken away. People are beheaded. Kids are taught to use the heads as soccer balls. Yeah. And
how are they going to grow up?
Well, they're already being indoctrinated into what is this
normal.
This is where I think the president doesn't get it. He gave his big speech, and people, Hannity, well, you attacked last night. What part of this aren't you supporting? Well, it's a year late.
Yeah.
We already conceded all the land that 4,000 Americans died for.
We took all those people out. Now, how many times did he say, I finished the war, I finished the war? Then when they ask him, he goes, no, I had nothing to do with it.
I had nothing to do with it.
I mean, it's weird. It's weird that they can just say what they want to say and people live with it and move on. That's why I'm saying we deal with, I think history repeats itself because people don't read history.
Yeah.
You look at socialism. Where's socialism ever worked in the world? Ever?
Never.
And it's just, yet here we are. And we got people just saying, hey, we're all the same. We're not all the same,
I'm a nerd. I watch the History Channel all the time. And
Channel's great.
And I watch, they always have the rise of Hitler era, and they run through this, and you see the video, and I am amazed at human beings' capacity to be sucked into evil. You'll see these massive crowds with their Heil Hitlers going on, et cetera. Or when the Ayatollah came back to Iran in 1979, and people would beat themselves bloody in the name of the Ayatollah. Or Stalin. They did a feature recently about Stalin and
Hitler. You mean
Hitler.
Uncle Joe?
Yeah, Uncle Joe.
Yeah, as FDR called him.
And you look at then the cost that it takes, human cost, to defeat these people once they rise up. And I would argue that I believe we're living in a time where this is the modern-day equivalent of 1938. This is the rise of Nazism, the rise of those that believe in the caliphate. And I think it's that severe a problem. I think it's going to be a worldwide problem.
Then we need to fight the war the way we fought the war back in World War II, because if we did it the way back then like we're doing today, we would never would have won that war.
You have to fight to win a war.
You got to fight to win a war.
You can't restrain. Who are you friends with in Hollywood? I'm just curious. Who do I look up to you guys too, like everybody else.
I'm Gary Sinise, great guy.
Love him.
John Voight.
Love him.
Joe Pesci.
Love him.
Great guy.
By the way, is he not a great actor?
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
He's great. I met Joe back in 1988.
Is he a winger? Is he conservative?
Yes, he is.
Really?
Yeah. We met back in 1988, and he's a great guy. I've been golfing with him off and on ever since, and I've done a number of different things with him. And he's just he is such a great guy.
He's the greatest gangster ever.
Yeah.
He's just
true.
He's great at that
That's
role.
true.
I don't care if it's Casino. I don't know, Goodfellas. He was in that one. That's really fun stuff.
My cousin Vinny.
How did you? Oh, that was a great movie too. It's funny because my wife's from Alabama and I'm from New York. We could relate to that movie in like 1,000 different ways. So we watch it 100 times over and over again.
I shot a movie this year in Birmingham.
You did?
I did.
How'd you like it?
Called The Coffee Shop. It was nice.
Yeah.
It was right during MLK Day, Martin Luther King Day.
They told me I talk funny down there.
I'm sure they think that's about me too.
But I've got a my heart is more Southern. Let me put it that way. I can't wait to get out of New York. What do you, when you look at politics and you look at your industry, so I look at what happened to me as very outliers-ish. I don't know if you've ever read Malcolm Gladwell, Outliers?
I know of it.
You know the book?
Yeah.
It's a great book. I mean, you said, you were fortunate. You went to Hollywood. You didn't know anybody. I got into radio and TV. I got on the ground floor of Fox, and I feel very, very blessed. And then what did you do in the meantime as you were building your acting career and pursuing your dream? Did you wait tables?
No, I was one of the lucky ones in L.A. I moved out there, and I started working commercially right away. So I was doing a lot.
How did that happen? That never happens.
Well, I already had a good commercial tape put together. I'm from Minnesota originally. Minneapolis is headquarters you got Best Buy, Dairy Queen, Pillsbury, 3M.
And Lake Wobegon.
Yes, we got all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I already had my SAG card, which is a tough card to get. There's sort of a catch-22 with all that thing. And I already had a great tape. So when I got out there, I got an agent right away, commercially. So I worked very well commercially and made good money.
All right, I ask every actor this. So when you're in a love scene with another woman.
Yes.
Your wife has to hate it.
Well, you know what? My wife reminds me every time that her big love scene was with Brad Pitt before we met. So
is that true?
Yeah. Brad Pitt and I were in acting class for 2 years together.
Is he a good guy?
He's a great guy.
Is he?
Yeah, he is a good guy. We differ politically, but, I think Brad's a good guy with a big heart, and I think he's a great actor.
Have you ever met Angelina?
I met her just one time.
Yeah.
She was very kind. I was on the Universe a lot, and I was walking. I saw her. She looked at me, and she recognized me. I recognized her. She got up and talked, and she knows that Brad knows me, and we just had a very nice conversation.
Yeah. All right. So what's coming up next for you?
I've got, besides, Let the Lion Roar is out right now on DVD. They can check that out. But go to LetTheLionRoar.com. I've got another movie coming up from the God's Not Dead people of Pureflix called Revelation Road, The Dark Rider. And I play it's sort of like a Mad Max meets the Bible. It's very post-apocalyptic. I play the leader of the gang of bad guys. I'm South African in this one.
That's fun.
And I've got a comedy coming out called The Secret Handshake. Hopefully be in theaters. It's a very funny family comedy. It was written by Howie Klausner, who wrote Space Cowboys with Clint Eastwood.
You love to work. You don't want to stop working.
I don't like sitting
How
around.
old are you?
I'm 52.
We're the same age.
Yeah.
When were you born?
In September 24th. My birthday's tomorrow.
So you're going to be 53.
Yeah.
So you're older than me.
Okay, there you go.
That's good. I like that a lot.
Okay.
All right. Well, Kevin Sorbo, we're going to be looking. By the way, Let the Lion Roar. What is it? .com.
LetTheLionRoar.com.
I would really recommend everybody see God's Not
Dead. And What
That's
If.
really good.
What If
and What
too.
If too.
Great movie.
All good movies.
Cool.
All right. Appreciate it, Kevin
Thank you.
Sorbo. Thanks for stopping by. Quick break. We'll come back. We got an awesome Hannity tonight, 10 Eastern on the Fox News.